Hey everybody, welcome back to GWN. I am Noctera, your host. So it is Thursday, and I was thinking, boy, we haven't had a whole lot of three plays lately. So how about a Threeplay Thursday, right? I thought it kind of sounded fun. So I asked the guys, hey, why don't you throw up some of your everyday 100% 3-star replays that you've been getting? And man, they didn't disappoint. I've got 7 for you. These are all below 4,500, so it's just a normal everyday playing. These aren't guys that are pushing or anything right now. They're just out there having a great time. We started off, first of all, with COD over on AHS Builders, a little Jybok action. The thing about Jybok, and this is one of the things I like about this, you just disrupt the flow of the base. And I've actually got 3 Jybok replays in here from different levels so you can get an idea. COD's hanging out at around 4,300 right now, 4,400 give or take, you know, here and there. You know how it goes when you play the game. You run the bombers through, and they open up the walls, and then you just plow right through the base. And personally, I think it's like a lot of fun, too, because everything is put in place to make a base strong against certain types of attacks. It all kind of falls by the wayside. And if you can do that anywhere, 3,500 to 4,500, you're going to be able to pull really good, solid 2 stars and an occasional 3-star in this meta. The key, of course, is to have the right troops, the level 16 troops, so you get the extra cannon cart and the extra bomber and the extra boxer giant at level 16. But once you got them, it is such a blast to run this offensive strat. In this particular one, if memory serves, this is also the first and only full 100% destruction in the batch. That's something you don't see very often. His bombers stick around till the very end, and they're able to literally destroy every single piece of wall before they take out that final army camp over in the corner. We even got the infinite lightning thing going on with the battle machine, so real fun attack there. Next up, we got Belle with a Mitch, and Belle's hanging out down around 3,700. Down in the 3,000s, you're going to find Night Witches are super, super strong. The lower 3,000s, a lot of people will... I hesitate to call it a spam of a Night Witch, but I guess in a lot of ways it is. You just drop all your Night Witches in one corner, and it's kind of spray and pray, wait and see what happens. But that works really well down in that, we'll call it 3,000 to 3,500 range. Especially, you know, if you get the max Night Witches down, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage. The further up you get, though, as the defenses begin to strengthen a little bit, not quite as effective. The bases get a little bit stronger, you get a little bit better walls, you've got a stronger roaster and multi-mortar, both of which are deadly to the Night Witches. So it becomes time to start to look at what else you can do, and that's where Mitch comes into play. When I was running Night Witches down there, and it's been a little while for me, I was running Mitch almost exclusively for all of my attacks, and I always got at least a 2-star, unless I really screwed up my deployment. And you can see here, Belle does the exact same thing. I mean, he drops him up in the corner to give him that long run. He drops his battle machine, and you know, he's clearing out any kinds of mines or traps that are going to be along the way. And right down to the end, he's got another Night Witch left over. I mean, this is great. It's a textbook Mitch attack. Works out just perfect against this base. Higher levels, you know, we've talked about this. I did a video on it earlier in the week. You can't use it as much at the higher levels, but it works great at the lower levels. Lots and lots of fun. One of my favorite attacks. Here we got Pod, and he is going to give us a minion drops, or a shimmy, as it's also called. Pod's hanging out around 41, 4,200, so he's up there. We're seeing some good, strong bases. I mean, here we got some maxed out crushers, and yeah, 1, 2, 3. Do we have the 4th? Where's the 4th firecracker? Okay, so he's got maxed out firecrackers as well. So for air defenses, this is actually a fairly strong base. The air bombs aren't maxed, but that's okay. You know, you don't necessarily need to have everything maxed to be able to defend well against an air attack. But he's able to, once again, clear the key defenses and keep his beta minions alive toward the very end. And yeah, they'll end up losing a bit and fizzling out a bit, but that's typical for any attack. If you can keep your strongest troops, your melee troops, like for example, you know, the beta minion here, alive up to the end or getting close to the end, they're going to do a ton of damage. And that's exactly what happens in this attack. Those balloons just last forever. You know, a lot of times they go down really fast, but they didn't this time. They managed to last all the way up to almost the end of the attack. And that leaves him with plenty of beta minions, and even here in this case, some skellies that he can rely on to work their way through the last few defenses as he wraps it up. The battle machine goes down. Again, that's okay. It's all about what you got left at the end and what the remaining defenses can take care of. Now, this base is a little weak for defense at the top, so by the time he gets up there, he's tanked for all the really heavy-duty stuff, and he's in good shape. Next one up is one of my games, the KVN game, the CoC Nacht game, running P.E.K.K.A. carts. This one's at 4,400 or so right now. I'll tell you guys, I have just been killing it with these P.E.K.K.A. carts. Usually, you know, I get sometimes meta bases and other times this, but usually I'll drop in the P.E.K.K.A.s and let them start to tank and open up the base. And then very quickly behind them, I bring in the cannon carts. 4 camps of super P.E.K.K.A.s, 2 camps of cannon carts. That is what has been the golden combination for me. Right now, the KVN game has 7 wins, 1 tie, and 2 losses. And those wins are all 70% or better. There was, I think it was 2 79s, 2 72s, and 3 3-stars, 3 100s. So really good, strong showing. And this is at 4,400 trophies. So I mean, these are decent, you know, well-developed bases overall that I've been fighting with this. This particular one, you can see they've got some of the lower level walls for his new walls, but again, you know, you've got a mix of defenses, level 7 and level 8, and that's very typical when you start getting up into the 4,000s, especially around, you know, 4,500 or so. And there'll be a few of them that are a little bit lower. Works out really well. And I've been focused on the P.E.K.K.A. cart strategy now ever since that last buff, and it's really working well for me, both here and on my my other game, Noctair. So here's TK65. TK's doing us a Jybok up around 4,400 as well. Nice big open base. I would use Jai carts against something like this myself because I'm a little stingy with that extra camp. But you know what? If you got the bombers and you've got, you know, skills with this attack, man, it works out great. These open bases, really, they're just box bases. And by being open like that, you can flood them with a whole boatload of giants and cannon carts, and the defenses can't keep up. Other attacks that work really well on these kinds of bases are the ones that use Raged Barbarians. You could do a Bombarian on it. It works really well. You could do Bombarian carts. You could do just a Bart. Anything that will distract the defenses and overwhelm them is going to do very, very well against a big open box base like this one. Sometimes, you know, your troops will peter out a little bit toward the end. You kind of run out of steam. Again, that is A-okay because look at that nice level 25 battle machine. He's almost full health. This is what's so nice about the high-level battle machine and why you want to get him when you can, although you know, you got to prioritize your upgrades. The defenses are much more important in my opinion. He lasts much longer and is a much more useful troop at level 25 than he is at the lower levels. And here you can see, you know, TK wraps it up, gets it down, and pulls the 3-star. Next up, we got some Beta Drag action, and this one's lower. This one's down in the 3,000s, I think. P.E.K.K.A. is running on this one. Beta Drags are a really cool attack, and I didn't really realize just how powerful the Baby Dragon was until a couple of the guys started running these. Mango Musty over on AHS Builders has been using this extensively, and we got a video coming up with just the Beta Drag attacks, so that you can really see just how strong they are. But these Beta Drags, when you start getting them out there, not only do they tank, but they do a lot of damage. And in this case, you know, P.E.K.K.A.'s only running level 14 Baby Dragons and Beta Minions, so he's up and coming, a little bit lower on the development of his game here, and he's able to put it to really good use against an average base down in the 3,000s to pull out a good solid 3-star. And it's a fun attack. I mean, it really is. I've used Mass Beta Minion all through the 3,000s on a lot of my games. And the Beta Minions and the Baby Drags, and later on when you add in the dropships, they just do a great job against these lower level bases. If you know you got a mini or an alt to go along with your regular game, or if you're relatively new to the game and you're working your way up, you should consider this as a good, viable attack strategy to use as you mine for resources every day. It's great. It's fun. Last one we've got here down, or well, up at around 4,200 trophies. And this is BG running another Jai block. This base is kind of a pagoda-style base. Looks like maybe somebody took the original pagoda and kind of flushed it out for Builder Hall 8 and the additional walls, and that's pretty base. But it doesn't last very long when you disrupt the patterns that are built into its pathing, like is the case with many bases. The bombers come in, they break down the walls, and then the troops can literally just walk right through the middle of the base. The typical base design will have certain pathing for both air and ground troops, if it's a decent base. And if you can disrupt that, if you can come in a way that ignores the pathing, that's going to put you on track to a very solid 2 or 3-star win. And that's exactly what you see here. It's what you see in pretty much any of these attacks that utilize the bombers to break down the walls. They disrupt the pathing. When the pathing has been disrupted, the troops are able to go in and do much more damage in a much quicker fashion. And here we see BG going to wrap this one up. Just about 10 seconds left. And what do we got? 2 bombers? Is that 3? Oh, it's 3 bombers. 3 bombers even survived to the very end of it, which is really good for your ground attacks. If you can keep the bombers alive, they'll take out additional stuff. So that's our video for today. A little bit longer, but lots of great 3-plays. I love the 3-plays. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop them down below. Feel free to hit me up at nocterra@gmail.com, and I will be back in the very near future with more Clash of Clans builder-based content. On that note, y'all take care and keep on clashing. Bye-bye.